think I'm going to go up there and check out what that structure is. I do not know what this is. Maybe it's some kind of water tank, water tower. It's got a valve in here, so if there's some liquid in there, I'm assuming it's water. I have an uncle. He's never owned a rifle, never owned a shotgun. He goes hunting every year. He hunts with a knife, hunts venison. I was talking to him the other day and I said, "You're pretty good at hunting with a knife. Why don't you go on that show alone?" I think they pay like $500,000 if you're the last one standing. And he says, "I'm 80 years old now. I don't know if I could handle the cold." But he goes hunting in the cold all the time, and I know you have to be able to survive about 100 days out in the cold. But he would survive, I think, and he would be able to hunt because you can bring a knife. He could probably hunt with an axe too. There's coyotes in here. I think they're domesticated. Friendly coyotes, I think. I don't see any of those road runners. Although I saw that Ace Acme truck go by. I don't know what it's doing up here. You know, when I was a kid, this would be a place to be with my bike. Up and down. Love trails. Trails were one of the best places to bike ride when I was growing up. And I was thinking the other day, there was this long trail that went through a forest. Now, the trail was quite thin. There were trees on both sides. In the daytime, it was quite easy to navigate through that area, but we would go through there pitch dark at night, and I have no idea how we never crashed into a tree. I have no idea. I mean, the trees were like, you know, those big pine trees, and it was very populated with these, a lot of trees in there, and we would go through there pitch black. Couldn't see anything. I mean, you would see shadows, but a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, and you'd smash into a tree like Sonny Bono. But nobody really thought about that. We just went through there. Now it'd be like, I'm not going through there, smash into a tree. It's dark. Even in the daytime now, it seems hard, although I haven't done it in years. But yeah, I miss bike riding. But nowadays it's all orchestrated, you know, you have to have your safety equipment. It's not the same anymore. Elbow pads, knee pads, a couple of helmets. When I was a kid, you just fell. So I'm watching a new show called Pickett, Joe Pickett. I saw one episode and I'm really getting into this show. I love the scenery, the storyline, I like that kind of stuff. I want to say Wilson Pickett, but it's not. It's Joe Pickett. I like Wilson Pickett, but that's not who this is about. But it's a good show, good scenery, like I said, and I think I'm going to be watching it going forward from now on. So I'm glad they put shows that are still interesting to me, because a lot of these shows nowadays, they involve vampires and zombies, and Star Wars things, I am not interested in that stuff at all. It bores me, and I can't watch that. So I tune out, and it's like I'm watching pictures, and they make no sense to me. I do not appreciate, especially anything to do with Star Wars. Anything to do with Star Wars, do not like it. So the truth is that you should never hike alone. You should never swim alone, but also don't hike alone. I'm alone right now. And the reason is you may get injured. Something may happen to you. You may be like that guy whose arm gets lodged in between a couple of rocks. And then you have to chop it off. Or you may run into some bad people. They may rob you, or for fun they may toss you off the side, and then you die. Nobody would know. They say, oh, he slipped and fell. You know, like a lot of people that fall down a flight of stairs and die, and then their spouse or somebody says, yeah, they were going down the stairs, everything looked fine, and they tripped and fell. Meantime, they were pushed. I remember the Karate Kid. He was on his bike, and he was on a road like kind of like this, I don't know, an area like this, and the Cobra Kai guys came and pushed him off the side, and he tumbled. Then when he went home, he was like, I hate this bike, I hate this bike. Well, tell him, the bike is not your fault. Bike is fine. Stop whining. You know, if it wasn't for those guys pushing you, you'd still be on your bike, right? Anyway, I always think, you know, somebody shows up, pushes you off the side here, who's gonna know? Nobody. Nobody. You know, sometimes I think about getting a mule for a pet. Sometimes. You know, times like this, they're fun to have. They can carry your water, maybe a blanket. They're good companions. And I know a place that sells hay, so that wouldn't be a problem. And mules make great fertilizer. The manure, not bad. But there's a lot of maintenance to it, and then you want to go on vacation somewhere. You have to find a mule hotel, and I think they're very rare. I don't know. I haven't seen many. I haven't seen any. So, but I'd like to get a mule. When I go to the Grand Canyon, I like to visit the mules. You know, they just look at you, but you know, I don't know. They look like, you know, a good animal to have around. I don't know. I just thought of something funny. So a few years ago, me and a friend of mine, we were cooking some steaks and ate the steaks, very good. Had some A1 steak sauce too. And then my friend has gaps in his teeth, and he gets some steak stuck in there, and we didn't have any toothpicks around, so he was looking for a twig or something, and he found one, and he was, you know, going in between his teeth, cleaning them out like floss. And about 3 days later, his whole face had a rash, including his tongue and his gum line. Everything was all swollen, and these little blisters with clear fluid inside. And I said, what happened? And he said, well, apparently that twig that he pulled was from a poison oak plant. Took the poison oak and that oil, Uracil or whatever that oil is, got it all over his face, and it was like ridiculous. Looked like he was in a fight with somebody, and his eyes were all closing up. But this area here looked like a burnt victim, you know, where they get the blisters. Horrible. So you got to check and make sure that the things you put in your mouth are not poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac, hemlock, Vegemite. I don't think it would be a bad idea to go and buy a Yamaha YZ450F. Nice dirt bike up here. This is the place for that kind of stuff. Here and way out in the desert. You know, it's a perfect place.